Hello everyone, in this video we will be creating a smart contract plus website project. The website we will be preparing with React.js and we will use Zustand as our state management, and the smart contract we will prepare it on the Hardhat platform and we will deploy it to BNB testnet. So the first thing to do, but before that I need to say this, I have prepared this step-by-step guide. I will also push this to GitHub for your, you can download it and use it as you want. And we will be following the steps that I have outlined here. So the first thing to do is of course to create a repo on GitHub and then copy your GitHub link, go to any place in your computer, open the command line, and then we will be saying git clone and the link, and this should provide us the project folder, and later just copy the project folder name and go inside your project folder. And here, so the first thing to do is of course to initiate the React project inside this folder. So you just need to say npx create react app dot, and we will be saying it inside this folder. We finished installing React project inside our folder. Now we will install those dependencies. So let's just copy all of it and go to your command line and paste it. Now we install dependencies and we will make a test to see if React project is working. So we just need to say npm start. Our React project is working. Now we will close it and continue to initiate our Hardhat project. So we need to say npx Hardhat. So now everything is fine. We will be opening, where is it? Here it is. We will be opening this folder on VS Code. So I need to go one step back, and then I will say code Solidity React.js Zustand. This should open my project in VS Code. But later don't forget to go back inside your project again. And here the first thing to do is to check package.json. You need to make sure that you have ethers here, okay, and that you have Zustand here. Of course, all those packages we are not going to be using them. For example, we will definitely not use OpenZeppelin in this project, but this is like a general boilerplate dependencies. And so yeah, now we can close this and we will make a cleanup right now. The first thing is to start with the contracts folder. Just delete this file here, log.sol. Now go inside the public folder. This is a React folder, and grab favicon, logo, manifest, robot. Delete all these 5 files and go to index.html, and here delete all those blue lines and link tags, and also this one, and also this one. But be careful not to delete this root div, and then delete this no script also. And it's not a React, it's my project, okay, my app. We can just say that. And that's it. We can close index.html. Now we will continue on source folder, and here app.css, test, logo, web vitals, setup tests. Delete these 5 files. It's done. Now go inside the index.css, grab everything here, delete it, and instead I have created this simple CSS here. Just paste it and we will be finished with the CSS. And here go inside the app.js and again grab everything between div tags and delete it, and also this app CSS and logo, delete it, and that's fine. And maybe I can type something here. Let's create a p tag and let's say something, okay. And now let's close this. And what else? Yeah, index.js. Also we need to delete these web vitals and blue lines, and again delete this web vitals line, and I guess we are finished. Our cleanup is done. Of course we will still update some files here, hardhat config and scripts folder, but for now we can test our project again. So we will say npm start. Yes, our project is working. So now let's go back to the VS Code, and here we will first update this Hardhat config.js, because apparently this is not enough for our purposes. And let's go to our step-by-step guide. Grab these, all these Hardhat config.js and paste it. Okay, and as you can see here, I have specified BMB. Okay, so now let's close this. We are finished with the Hardhat config.js, and now let's create a .env file. Later we will update deploy.js, and inside .env file we just need to put, let me find it here, yeah, these two things. But of course in your case, let me first paste it. This is a RPC endpoint provided by ANKR, and this is my private key, MetaMask account private key. So in your case, this should be your private key, okay, not mine. It should be yours. So let me show you one thing here. If you don't have BNB testnet in your MetaMask, you can add it by clicking on this. Let me show you. By clicking on this add the network button, and then where is it? Yeah, here. You can click on add network button and it will take you to this page, and then you need to put this data here. I have already done it. And later, to get an RPC endpoint, you should go to this website, ANKR RPC, and here you will find tons of blockchains. So you can just click on BSC, and later you just click on testnet and copy it. You see BSC testnet chapel, copy it and go to your .env file and paste it here between those literals. Okay, paste it here between those literals. But of course your MetaMask account, it should have some BNB test tokens, and as you can see I have 0.1 BNB. And to get BNB test tokens, you can go to this Binance Smart Chain faucet. And actually that's it for now. Let's now create our very complex contract. Here I will say my contract.sol, or let's say apple.sol. Okay, so inside apple.sol, let's create a very complicated contract. Here it is. There is almost nothing inside this contract. It's just a string variable, and this is a city in my hometown, Cizre, and that's it. We are finished with the contract. And later, when we connect our contract to the front end, we will try to get this data by accessing our contract. We can close this now, and now we can go to scripts, go to deploy. So grab everything here, delete it. Also those blue lines, delete it, and also this one, delete it. Yeah, they are making it even more complicated actually. They don't need to do that. So let's just delete everything here. A console log statement, it shouldn't be like 3-4 lanes. It should be just one lane, and that's it. So here you just say Apple is deployed to, we will now see it. But here, instead of log, you just need to say Apple, your contract name, and also the file name. And here also paste Apple, delete everything here. Okay, because these deploy parentheses, it goes for constructor arguments, and as you can see, we don't have any constructor here inside this contract. It's just a string variable. So it should stay empty, and this log also we will replace it with Apple. And as this log is small letter, so we will follow the same logic. We will make our Apple small, and also here, and also here. So it's finished. So the thing that we need to do right now is to deploy this contract to BNB testnet. And to do that, make sure that you are inside your project folder, and here npx hardhat compile, and then we will deploy it. And then you say npx hardhat run dot scripts deploy.js -- network BNB. Why I'm saying BNB? Because I have specified here the network name as BNB. Okay, and then press enter. Yeah, the contract is deployed, everything is fine. So now we need to create two files. One of them will store the contract address, the other one will store the contract ABI. So let's go to source folder, and here normally you should have a components folder. I mean, like in a big project you should have a components folder, you should have some other like a folder structure, but in this case we will keep everything simple. So we just need to say ContractABI.js. Later we will also say ContractAddress.js. Okay, so inside ContractAddress.js, and inside ContractAddress.js we can just go here, copy this line, paste it here, and instead of these three dots we will copy this address and paste it. Okay, we are finished with the contract address file, and now go to ABI and the same logic, just grab this simple line of code, and instead of these just delete it and go to artifacts, go to contracts, go to apple.json, and you will see this ABI. Just grab everything excluding this comma, and then go back to your ContractABI.js, paste it. That's it actually. And right now we can connect our smart contract to frontend, and to do that first we need to go to app.js, and here let's put two buttons. The first button we will say connect MetaMask, and then we will also create a paragraph tag for account data. I mean, it will be our MetaMask account data. And the second button, we will have a second button here. This will be get data from contract. Okay, and again we will have a paragraph here which will display data once we click on this button. So we will say contract data. Right now we need to create our Zustand file for our state management. So inside source folder, create an e-file and name it as store.js, and in this file we will create our state contract connection function. First we need to create some import statements. Our import section is finished, so right now let's create the logic for our contract connection. So we will first create a variable let signer, and also another variable for provider, and also another variable, let's say contract 1. Okay, and here let's create a function. We will say const connect contract. We will make this function asynchronous, and it will be an arrow function. And here we will first start with the provider, and then we will get the signer, and then we can get our contract. By the way, I mean, this code that I am writing is not something that I am discovering. It's like a conventional code that you can find any place in the on internet. That's nice, it's finished. But of course we need to make sure that this function, it runs when we initiate our project. So we will say connect contract, and that's it. Okay, and now we can create the Zustand part. Actually this part is not Zustand, but now we will connect it to Zustand part. So here we just need to say export const use account is equal to, again this is like a conventional Zustand code. I am not like discovering something new by myself. And make it arrow. Okay, and let me just, yeah, and now here let's open some curly braces, and we will say contract colons or semicolons, whatever the name, and say contract 1. And now our store.js file is finished, and later we will access our contract by basically grabbing this contract object. Okay, I mean, like, it's so simple actually. Now we can close this and we can go back to app.js, and here we will now create our some import statements. So we will say import use state, and then you remember we used use account in Zustand, so now we will access this use account. Let me show you this one, and we will say use account, and it's also done. And now as you can see we have two buttons here, and first thing, let's make some space here. First thing is, let's create some on-click events, and let's say handle connect. Okay, and here let's click another on click, let's say get data. Okay, handle connect is equal to FAA and asynchronous. Yeah, it's nice, but before that I need to get the Ethereum object actually. So I will say const Ethereum is equal to window. That's easy. And now we will use an if statement, and inside the if statement we will check if window.ethereum is not undefined. Okay, if window.ethereum is not undefined, then it means that we have MetaMask in our browser, which means that we can grab the account information. So we will say const accounts, it will return us an array, and we will just grab the first account. So const accounts is equal to, and here we should create actually a variable. Let's say let account set account is equal to use state. Let's make it empty, and here let's grab this set account, because I told you that this will return an array, and we just need the first element of that array. So we will say accounts and make it 0, and that's it. Now we have the MetaMask account information inside this account variable, and which means that we can display it here, isn't it? Let's open some curly braces and place it, and that's it. So connect MetaMask function is finished. Let's save it now, and now we will create also, but maybe we can just say else if there is no MetaMask. I mean, like, if this logic, if it doesn't work, it means that we don't have MetaMask in our browser, which means that we can create a basic alert. We can say install MetaMask. Okay, and that's finished actually. And now we can create the logic for get data. So to get the data, we need to connect to our contract, and as you have remembered, the connection to contract is done inside this store.js file, which is a Zustand file, let's say, and which means that we can use this use account to access our contract. And to do that, we just need to say maybe here or maybe here, just two. And here let's say const, what should I say, my contract, okay, is equal to use account, and let's say state, and here we will say state dot contract. Why I'm saying contract, state is the keyword, but why I'm saying contract here is because I have named it as contract here. I mean, that's why I'm saying contract. If it was like Apple here, then I would have to say state.apple. Okay, so I assume you understand this. Const my contract use account state.contract. Okay, and now let's create our get data function. So we will say const get data is equal to, we need to make it asynchronous, and an arrow function. So we will create a simple variable here. So let's say let data is equal to await my contract dot. So what was the variable name? Let's go to our smart contract. It's my city. So my contract dot my city, and that's it. Actually, this should return me the value of this variable, which is Cizre, and later it means that I can now display this data on the front end. So for that purpose, maybe I can again create a variable here. I will say let city set city, okay, and I will say use state empty, and here I just need to say set city is data, and later this city I should display it inside this paragraph tag. Open some curly braces, put the variable name, and actually this completes everything. Okay, so now let's close this, and let's also close this. Let's open this. So now let's say npm start. As you can see, we have an error here. It's good that the React.js is showing us the error, so I need to delete this semicolon. Of course, I mean, this is, I cannot put any semicolon here. Where is it? It's here. You can put comma, but even that comma is not needed because it's just one element here. So save it, close it, and compiling again. Okay, let's wait. Or maybe I could just help it by reinitiating. So let's reinitiate npm start. Yes, our at least web page is working, but let's see if our functions are also working. So if I click on this connect MetaMask, it should get my account information from MetaMask. So let's click on it. It works. Perfect. And now let's get data from the contract. If I click on it, this should get that city name, Cizre. It should display this city name on the website. So let's click on it, Cizre. So it works. And thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.